This week on Politiculture, is Joe Biden racist? A look into why abortion is wrong and always will be wrong, why Chris Pratt is the best of all the Chris's, and a review of Taylor Swift's City of Lover concert. All this and more, you're watching Politiculture. Hey, welcome back to Politiculture. I'm Katie Kraft, and it's so good to see you guys again. I'm sorry for the lack of content on my end. Last week, I was moving. As you can tell, I'm in a different set. Joe Biden recently went on to the radio show, The Breakfast Club, and he had some interesting comments to say, specifically to African-American voters. Let's take a look at this clip.
Thanks so much. That's really our time. I apologize.
You can't do that to black media.
I can't do that to white media and black media because my wife has to go on at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm in trouble.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run. Come on. Take a look at the record.
So this has gotten a lot of people outraged, and rightfully so. In this country, we have got to get rid of this myth and this stereotype that just because you're African American, you have to vote Democrat. Everybody needs to vote for the party that they feel like represents their values the most and has the best interest of America at heart. And if that's not a Democrat, you should vote Republican or, vote independent. Vote how you want to, but don't vote for somebody because of a feeling of obligation to a party that really isn't helping represent you. So essentially, as you heard, Joe Biden told the host of the Breakfast Club show, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And this has got so many people outraged. And he's just perpetuating this stereotype that African Americans always have to vote for Democrats, which is just garbage. And so, Joe Biden, I feel like your campaign is slowly deteriorating. First there were the sexual assault allegations, and now there's this. And I feel like it's all downhill from here. And as you may have heard from our social media accounts, it is abortion week here at Probably Political, which sounds really bad, like name-wise. Notice that on Twitter, Roe v. Wade and other similar, hashtags were trending. And we were like, okay, what's going on? Abortion is trending right now. What's going on? And so we checked it out and we saw that a new documentary came out and it revealed information that Norma McCorvey, or AKA Jane Roe from Roe v. Wade, had a deathbed confession that she was paid off to switch from being pro-choice to pro-life. And a lot of people were talking about it. We're spending the week talking about how we each individually feel about abortion and how we feel that this documentary and this confession, affect our opinions. And I'm just here to say it doesn't affect my opinion at all. Abortion is wrong no matter what. Why should I care that she faked being pro-life the whole time? I actually am pro-life. And to demonstrate to you the importance of being pro-life, defunding places like Planned Parenthood that offer abortions, defunding other abortion clinics, I'm going to show you through a pop culture lens why abortion is terrible. I think it was a couple years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, a movie came out called Unplanned. You've probably never heard of it because you know what? The media doesn't want you to hear about it. It's a phenomenal film. It is available on Amazon Prime, actually, right now, I believe. And I bought it when it came out, so it's just such a good movie. I highly recommend you watch it, but I'm going to show you a few clips from the movie.
Abby Johnson is in the other room.
Here.
Our first order of business is to present Planned Parenthood's Employee of the Year Award. Abby Johnson.
There's a fire inside, you can feel it.
This is Abby. She's our newest volunteer escort. Abby, this is Cheryl Alessandro.
It's a neon light glowing like
I'd be the youngest director in Planned Parenthood history.
You'll actually be in charge of the abortions at your clinic.
I have a chance to make a real difference.
No matter what you do for the rest of your life, you're still gonna be a baby killer.
The only thing that's changed is you, Abby. Can you even hear yourself talk right now about these procedures? These are little babies.
I'm not going to apologize for doing a job that helps women in crisis.
There's still a part of me that isn't sure.
I know. But the one thing that all experts agree on is that at this stage, the fetus can't feel anything.
Sorry to bother you, but they need an extra person in the back room. Are you free?
I saw it, and it was like it was twisting and fighting for its life.
We commend the souls of these hundreds of children. And Lord, we pray to end abortion.
I really appreciate what you've done for us. I'll not forget it.
22,000 abortions. How do I even comprehend that?
Rough day at the office?
You could say that.
You're making a mess.
It's your dad and me. You are our baby from the moment of conception.
We are paying you to be a perfect instrument of corporate policy. We are an abortion provider.
I can't be a part of this anymore. Everything that they told us is a lie.
Don't underestimate the repercussions of this. You gotta be careful.
Rhonda, please, don't do this! Rhonda!
Let me tell you what's gonna happen if you walk through that door.
Congratulations. You've made an enemy of one of the most powerful organizations on the planet.
So Unplanned is the story of Abby Johnson, who is the former head of a Planned Parenthood clinic in Texas. It showed how her perspective switched around when she first saw an abortion and how she realized, I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay working in this environment. I'm not okay with this happening. And now Abby Johnson is one of the biggest pro-life advocates out there, you know. But I highly recommend you watch this movie. I've only ever cried in 2 movies in my life at a theater, okay? One of them was Soul Surfer. That's a good movie. Don't tell me otherwise. And the second one was Unplanned. I saw it in theaters, I think, 3 times because it really just hit my gut. And the soundtrack's amazing too. If you like, the soundtrack's amazing too. But the point is, no matter what anybody says, Norma McCorvey, aka Jane Roe, that doesn't change the fact that abortion is wrong and should be illegal. Everybody deserves a chance at life. So in the Bible, it actually says in Jeremiah 1, verse 5, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. And there are other places in the Bible where it talks about how, you know, God knew us before we were even a thought to our parents. We're each created in his wonderful image, and we need to value that. We as a society need to value that. And that's all I have for that today. That got a little heavy. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Now let's move on to your pop culture portion. Now we're going to talk about why Chris Pratt is the best of the Chris's. So you guys all know the Chris debate. You know, you've got Chris Evans, Chris Pine, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt. I think those are the only Chris's that people actually like. I'm here to tell you firsthand, Chris Pratt is the best Chris. You heard it here. And Exhibit A.
Hey, my son's been missing his sweatshirt. Stop. And now I know where it is.
I've always been, I'm a little insecure about my sweatshirt, okay?
You are?
Because I feel like it's too patriotic. So I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to retire it, okay? Because I don't want to come across as some guy who's just so pro-American, you know what I mean? Papa.
Exhibit B. Exhibit C. He was Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. And I know two of the other Chris's are superheroes too. But Star-Lord is great, okay? Phenomenal music taste, actually. And I love the soundtrack. Great music. I'm a music lover. Star-Lord's a music lover. Star-Lord is played by Chris Pratt, who is also just hilarious, by the way. He's hilarious. The characters he plays are hilarious. That gives him points. Great music taste gives him points. I know he's a character, like Star-Lord is a character, but I'm giving Chris Pratt the points because he's the actor that played the character. Exhibit D. He doesn't let fame get in the way of his faith. Chris Pratt is a Christian, and I absolutely 100% love that whenever he wins an award, or even if he's just like posting on Instagram, he'll mention God and he'll talk about his faith, and that is awesome to me. And those are reasons why Chris Pratt is the best Chris, definitively. Our review of the Taylor Swift City of Lover concert. So me and a few other contributors here at Probably Political watched the Taylor Swift City of Lover concert right as it was airing, and they had a lot of thoughts. I had a lot of thoughts. It was interesting. First of all, I'm going to go ahead and say that it was a good concert. It was only an hour long, though. I expected that with 18 songs it is, I believe, on her Lover album, I expected it to be at least 2 hours, but she didn't go even through like half the songs, so I was kind of disappointed in that. Anyway, she did a lot of her songs off the album. She did them acoustically, and that was very nice change. I believe one she played on the piano. I believe she played Daylight on the piano, and Cornelia Street and Death by a Thousand Cuts she did acoustically. So it was good. I thought it was a good concert. I thought she sang well. She did sing The Man and You Need to Calm Down, two of her political songs off of the album. You Need to Calm Down was kind of standard. Right before she went into the song, she talked about, this is about equality, kind of pushing the Equality Act again. And if you've watched my other video about her documentary, I talk about why the Equality Act is not like exactly what it sounds and what it actually entails and why it's not a good idea. But she did like pitch that. That's her thing. And in The Man, I promise, there was a legit break where she was like halfway through the song and she just stops. And it was a move. It was a power move. When she released the music video for The Man, if you watch that video, I talk about how, she's so successful. I don't know why she would be complaining that she would be more successful if she was a man. She's more successful than most men in her industry. And that's all for your pop culture portion. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching Politiculture this week. If you want to see more of our content, you can go to our website at probablypolitical.com. Check out the other contributors on this channel. If you want to see more of my content, you can go to my website at katiecraft.org, or you can hop on over to my YouTube channel at katiecraft. See you next week, and thank you for watching Politiculture.